Local 4 News starts now with a breaking news alert.
That breaking news coming from Detroit Police Headquarters, where in just the past half hour, Chief James White announced 2 officers have been arrested, and that's in separate incidents.
Yeah, both are facing felonies right now. A male officer with 5 years experience is charged with criminal sexual conduct in Woodhaven. A female officer with 26 years on the force is accused of brandishing a firearm during a road rage incident in Madison Heights. The chief says officers in his department have to be held to a higher standard.
I have reviewed the information that we've been provided. I've looked at it and I've seen enough there to give me some very serious concern about the conduct of these 2 officers. And as I often say, wearing a badge is an absolute privilege. It is not a right. And these 2 officers, at least preliminarily, did not uphold that privilege to wear the badge.
Well, both officers are currently suspended with pay, but Chief White says he will recommend to the Board of Commissioners this week that their pay be revoked. We have a live crew working to gather more information right now. We'll check in with them on the news at 6.
Our other top story tonight, what is happening in Inkster? Neighbors on edge right now after the city records its 4th homicide in just 1 week. Thanks, everybody, for joining us. I'm Karen Drew in for Kimberly Gill.
And I'm Damon Fernandez in for Devin Skilly. And those 4 homicides happened across the city with a population of just 25,000 people. And state police are assisting in this investigation. Sean Lay is live for us tonight. Sean, is there any word if these incidents could be connected?
Damon, we were looking into that ever since these broke last week and then over the weekend. You're right, 4 homicides in a little under a week in Inkster. People are very concerned, and right now sources are telling us they are not connected, but people are very concerned about what's happening in Inkster tonight.
As long as I stay clear of the problems, they don't come to me.
There is nothing more important to Shantanique Jones than the safety of her babies.
I don't let them out of my sight. I don't let them go too far. Like I said, when it gets dark, we go inside.
Jones says that is her rule. At night, she and her family are inside. Too much these days is happening outside. Right up the street from where Jones lives, over the weekend, a double homicide. A man and woman found shot to death in a car here along Michigan Avenue and Middle Belt. There is a dramatic uptick in violence in Inkster. It started 1 week ago. A man shot and killed last Tuesday here on Shadow Lawn at Patterson, resulting in a wild police pursuit of the people police say were responsible for the shooting. The very next day, a man's body discovered in a field at the end of Princeton in Inkster. That's 4 homicides in less than 1 week. People in Inkster want to know what is going on.
I already, but me being a female, I already don't like walking out by myself in the dark. So especially with everything going on and, things like that, I just tend to keep to myself and keep my kids in the house.
We've been in Inkster last week and again today. It's the same sentiment we're hearing. People are very concerned about what's happening there. The first 3 victims are men. 1 is a woman. Again, sources are telling us they do not believe these are connected, but concerns certainly raised there tonight. We're live tonight. Sean Lay, Local 4, back to you.
All right, Sean, thanks for that update.
A key hearing for the Oxford school shooter is set to resume tomorrow. The hearing, known as a Miller hearing, will determine if Ethan Crumbley will ever be eligible for parole since he was convicted as a juvenile. Last week, we heard some devastating testimony from people inside the school when the shooting happened. We also got to see how the shooter planned it in a page after page in his journal. The hearing is set to get underway tomorrow at 9 a.m.
Still no arrests in connection to the shooting of 5 people in Lansing on Sunday. It happened in the parking lot of a shopping center around 1 in the morning. The wounded victims are between 16 and 26 years old, and at least 2 of them are in critical condition right now. We know investigators recovered firearms from the scene and did detain a handful of people for questioning. So far, no charges have been filed in this case. Well, a new week and new potential for more indictments for former President Donald Trump.
Their investigations are overshadowing the race for the White House, but GOP candidates are doing their best to focus attention on their policies for the country. All of that's happening while President Biden takes some downtime. Alice Barr has a look at how the race is really heating up, even with more than a year to go before Election Day.
Good evening. This should be a big week on the campaign trail with the first Republican presidential debate fast approaching, but it's a bigger week for the frontrunner, former President Trump's legal battles. In a week that could bring major developments in former President Trump's legal troubles.
These are ridiculous indictments.
A new co-defendant in the former president's classified documents case appearing in a Florida court today. Mar-a-Lago property manager Carlos de Oliveira is accused of trying to help Mr. Trump delete security camera footage to obstruct the investigation. Allegations the Trump team sharply denies.
What was the obstruction of justice? Because no tapes were deleted. He turned them over. He cooperated, as he always does.
At the same time, we're awaiting word of two more potential Trump indictments, both centered on efforts to overturn the 2020 election. One case in Washington, D.C., the other in Fulton County, Georgia, where security is ramping up.
Some people may not be happy with the decisions that I was making, and sometimes when people are unhappy, they act in a way that could create harm.
The legal cloud hanging over the presidential campaign as Mr. Trump's closest Republican rival, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, is trying to hit reset.
We will usher in a new era of growth, prosperity, and civic pride.
He's under fire for his state's new Black history teaching standards while facing a cash crunch and lagging poll numbers. President Biden at his vacation home in Delaware, while on Capitol Hill, his son Hunter's business dealings remain a key focus for House Republicans. Today, hearing closed-door testimony from one of Hunter Biden's former business partners.
There still is no connection of any of Hunter Biden's business dealings with President Biden.
Democrats defending their president and candidate in the next race for the White House. As former President Trump's legal troubles mount, the Washington Post is reporting that his political group has spent more than $40 million on legal costs in the first half of this year. Despite that, a New York Times Siena poll shows that 71% of Republican voters stand behind the former president amid the investigations. In Washington, Alice Barr, Local 4.
Actor Paul Reubens, best known for his work as Pee Wee Herman, has died. Reubens starred in Pee Wee's Playhouse, a live-action show from 1986 to 1991, and a handful of movies that became cult classics. His rise to fame was temporarily halted after two separate sex crime cases, including indecent exposure and child pornography. The 70-year-old has been quietly battling cancer for years, a diagnosis he hid from the public.
All right, so the expectations are sky high for the Lions this year. Experts are saying some good things, and the team is opening the season in prime time against the defending Super Bowl champs. Well, Jamie Edmonds went to check things out at Allen Park today as Lions fans were allowed in to watch the work in progress.
That hype train Dan Campbell talked about is very real. 9 practices are open to fans this year, and tickets sold out in 6 hours.
Good morning, welcome to training camp.
It was a beautiful day for football in Allen Park. The 3,500 Lions fans who were lucky enough to snag tickets today were certainly enjoying themselves.
Because we were here to see the Lions train.
And do you think they're going to be good?
Yes.
Yeah? You got the full face paint. You're really in.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, you too? You like the Lions? From the littlest fans to those who've seen it all.
It was like 10, 11, 12. We got tickets for Thanksgiving games from the players who Flames didn't show up. So me and my brother, I was 13, he was 10. We 50-yard line watching the Lions.
There is a buzz around these parks that Dan Campbell and company are building something special.
We can feel it this year.
I've heard that before.
You know what? Different culture. Different people in the office.
They have the best running back in the world and the best 3 wide receivers that nobody can have.
This team is favored to win the division, which would mean hosting a playoff game. Can you imagine? So you know football. What do you think of this current Lions team?
It's good. Jared Goff QB, he all right. He's good.
The players say they feel the vibes, they know what fans are expecting, and they'll do whatever they can to deliver.
You can see the buzz around the city. Everywhere you go, everywhere you step out, somebody's, talking about it. So, that's what you want, to be, a team like that, to, you have the whole city behind you and all the buzz and stuff like that. But, now it's our turn to return that favor.
In Allen Park, Jamie Edmonds, Local 4.
All right, so there are 2 more practices open to the public before the Lions host joint practices with the Giants next week.
All right, let's talk some weather. It is picture perfect outside as we take a live look at the Detroit skyline from our Windsor Sky Cam. Definitely a welcome sight after all that rocky weather that we had last week. You can't beat temperatures right around 80 on the last day of July.
Nah, this is great, especially we don't have to deal with the rain.
Right?
Yeah, I like this. Let's get over to Kim Adams for a first look at the forewarned forecast. Hey, Kim.
Hey, well, it's going to be a calmer week, not completely rain-free, but definitely better than what we've had the last several weeks in July. 75 in Pontiac, cooler than normal in Mount Clemens at 77. We should have temperatures right around 83 degrees this time of year, and the only place to crack 81 is in downtown Detroit. As we widen the view, there is some heat out to our west and to our south. 81 in Indianapolis, 80 in Columbus, 82 in St. Louis, upper 80s in Sioux Falls, and 87 in Bismarck. And that heat will be moving in by the end of the week. But until then, just some fair weather clouds. Look at those puffy clouds showing up on the visible satellite. It is going to be a nice night, but there are just a couple showers up north of I-69. So if you're one of our northern viewers, Lapeer over to Port Huron, you might see a sprinkle or two here tonight and then again tomorrow night as well. There's just some instability, but otherwise we'll look forward to some sunshine and a high tomorrow of 80. More on those storms coming on Thursday in just a couple minutes.